Hello, it's me, Benjamin Wilfred Brown, and today is July 27th. It is, as far as I know, Thursday. I didn't go to work today. Um, I'm here in my apartment, and I'm about to get ready to clean it up for the weekend. I usually clean my room on Fridays or sometimes Saturdays, depending on how tired I am or how tired somebody makes me. Um, some of the things that I wanted to touch on were things that I had forgot to mention in my last video. And I'd started talking about intelligent design and some aspects about design. And I guess one of the things that was really important is that on top of there being an implied command to explore the universe and explore space-time, and on top of the principles of design and quantum mechanics giving us the ability to extend our lives. Essentially, from these things, one could assume that the person that designed our environment in no way is in no way interested in our dying, and on top of that is also interested in our taking lesser consciousness, like consciousness of or a consciousness that we maybe misconstruedly or misconstruedly perceive as lesser consciousness, such as trees that produce vegetables, fruits, animals. Someone taught me that that something like a spider. Like if every single thing in the universe expresses information and has some level of consciousness tied to its chemical properties, because I'm not entirely sure how molecular structures work, and because of corrupted purported scientific knowledge, I'm not entirely certain that the subatomic particle at its most reduced form has a center called a nucleus, which behaves like a brain center. So if in fact it does, which I mean it's purported scientific knowledge that the center of an atom is a nucleus and it has some sort of influence around on its protons, I think like electrons and neutrons, and then the protons are part of the nucleus. Maybe it's the other way around. I can't, my memory is not at its best here in this place. But at any rate, as far as I understand it, chemical reactions seem to be a level of consciousness which interact with other chemical substances, which is the reason why water cannot be mixed with oil, and why certain molecular substances adhere to each other and why some repel each other. I guess it probably is also visible in something like magnetism. There is this awareness that goes beyond our capacity to really understand or really know, but it has some sort of properties in which some sort of properties which are likened unto consciousness, and not only likened unto consciousness, but perform consistently in a certain manner through which we've derived laws. So that was the other thing that I wanted to mention. It's actually a really important thing. There seems to be some sort of association with chemistry and Judaism. There seems to be some sort of association with the Jewish language, maybe, and chemistry. As far as I know, the Hebrew language was like a sacred language. That, of course, the purported story in the Tanakh text was that the one true God spoke the universe into existing using the Hebrew language. And I'm not really sure. There's like purported things that I've heard about the Hebrew language, that it's in some way associated with mathematics. I'm not entirely sure if that's true or not. There's a chance that the Hebrew language was written sometime in the 1800s, but I'm not really sure um, how old uh, how old the Arab languages and the Hebrew languages are. Um, I, uh, I do believe in God. I like see these things, and I've been taught these things, and I'm like aware of these things to one degree or another. I know that like native spiritual ideas have always been truly to be rooted in the environment and to accept like that the environment is as much a part of you as you are of the environment, and it's part of the reason that the indigenous peoples like held their lands as sacred and looked upon them with a certain level of awe and mysticism and intrigue, and even so much so as to emulate things like the animals and the spirit of the animals in their identity and in their culture. And I'm like I said, I'm going through a lot. I know there's people out there that are probably going through a lot worse things. I'm concerned for my daughters. I'm concerned for my sons, wherever they are. I think a lot about. I think a lot about Mexico. I think a lot about Mexico because I'm somehow put in the center of some sort of sting operation, which is meant to expose government negligence and corruption. I'm really upset by the idea that there's another version of me out there that might be arresting lower level drug dealers or lower level drug traffickers. Although it appeared to me at some point in time that the people trafficking drugs through Mexico might not even be Mexican. They might be American. They might be something else. I don't like. I've personally experienced that there is people that are observing us through ghost agents, ghost operations, ghost suits, and are technologically advanced and outfitted that deliberately inhibit our capacity to become educated and to achieve higher levels of education so that we can get better jobs and so we can be more secure. Regardless of the fact that we are completely insecure because we can't do anything to protect ourselves against these people who have put these devices in our head and these people that are watching our women bathe and are influencing our children to masturbating to lewd and obnoxious things. And I've experienced all these things directly, and I know that somebody is in fact disrespecting me. And I know I cannot be an isolated case. I know that not every housewife out there in Montreal and in Canada and in England and in Ireland and in Moscow can't possibly be completely faithful to their husbands, just like every single husband is also cheated on his wife. I said in my last video that we live in an extremely awkward time, and it's this time in which mankind is wrestling with itself and struggling to try to take care of things that they need to take care of, but are also completely inhibited and not really in complete control of themselves. I used to stop and think about some of the things that I knew or that I'd learned about history and stuff, and I guess one of the things that I felt like maybe people were smarter before, or maybe somebody was trying to say that people were smarter before, or the people were more intelligent before, even though we didn't have all these like technological advancements like, electronic phones and things like that. But that people were capable of doing some rather impressive things for being technologically incapacitated. So I kind of grew up in a house where there was all these antiques that were relics of my father's past. And he grew up on a farm in Michigan in a small town, and he grew up with coffee mills and coffee grinders, and he grew up with old wood oak tables and things like that. Because of mass consumerism and consumption, the level of quality of furniture has gone down, and it's actually something of a problem. But I guess it's the same thing with like American cars and with cell phones, is they essentially build things so that they break down and so that you have to buy another one. and I'm not obviously like interested in things like that, and I'm not really interested in pushing profit margins and stuff like that. But I feel like I'm getting sidetracked here. Um, but in any event, it's one of the realities of the things that we're dealing with, and it's one of the things that I'm dealing with. And on top of my stuff, mysteriously being messed with. I mean, I'm getting like holes put in my jeans here. I'm forced to patch it up with some sort of adhesive in order to stop them from falling apart. Everywhere I go, people see that I'm wearing jeans that have this sticky gunk on them in order to stop the holes from getting worse. I'm not entirely certain it's someone breaking into my apartment to put holes into them, because I'm constantly harassed by these ghost agents. And the reason that I'm constantly harassed by ghost agents is because I'm exposing corruption in French and English governments. But I know that the English and French governments somewhere have some faction that intends to do something about this. And I'm just like hanging on, trying to figure this out, and trying to make my way, and trying to be as useful as possible. But I'm not entirely convinced that I can rely on any government faction, and I'm not exactly eager to sign up with anybody or anything. Like I said, I seem to be surrounded by some sort of government agents. Everybody has fake names. I've been like doing paperwork and engaging government facilities, and everybody's got obnoxiously fake names. Like I said, I filed a complaint to the Federal District Court of Los Angeles, and apparently there's a judge there named Judge Scarcy. My complaint revolved around the separation of church and state, which implies that somebody's kind of blowing me off and letting me know that they're not at all concerned with my concerns. I'm trying to make the best of this, and trying to figure out as much as I possibly can while I'm here. But the books that I order come through, and they're just not reliable, and they're not 100%. All I can really do is just like watch movies and watch cartoons, and essentially that's what I've been doing. I've been trying to keep it educational documentaries. I've got movies on Judaism and on Islam. I've got some science movies. I've got some culture stuff. I've got just whatever, some of the things that remind me like from when I was a kid and when I was a child and things like that. I'm going to do everything that I can in order to try to gain some momentum, but I am having a difficult time here, and I don't at all feel completely comfortable. I really could use the money. I need to make copies of my case file, and I need to start writing complaints to the Quebec Human Rights Division, but every single one of them is some sort of government operative, and I'm relatively certain that none of my complaints are going to be paid attention to. I've been emailing people, and I've been calling people, and I've been leaving people messages. Nobody responds to me, and I'm completely certain that I'm being ignored because there's another clone version of me somewhere that somebody intends to swap me out with. I know that this is my territory to defend, and I know I have a right to be here in Canada, and I know I have a right to be here in America, and I know I have a right to be in Mexico. But what I'm dealing with essentially is government negligence and government corruption. And there's people here that are trying to turn me against black people. There's people here that are trying to turn me against Indian people from India. And there's people here that are trying to turn me against Germans. I don't know. I'm relatively patient. I've been restrained most of my life, so I don't really lash out in anger. It's not something that's characteristic of me. But my behavior to one degree or another is inhibited, which is why I don't really understand why they also inhibit my physical qualities. I'm doing my best to try to train, and I'm doing my best to do some fight training. And if I'm the work of some sort of government agency or government operation, then it doesn't make sense that there's somebody here that's inhibiting my capacity to be capable of defending myself against lower level cops and lower level criminals that are tied to the corrupt government agencies or authorities. I know somebody's going out of the way to deliberately restrain me and inhibit my capacity to defend myself against their henchmen or what have you. And that's the other thing, is I'm the proof that the government conspiracies are actually inhibiting people's capacities to exercise, to learn, to educate themselves, and also to defend themselves. And I guess I'm seeing a reoccurring pattern where there's people that are extremely overweight, and their food's being laced and tainted, and on top of their food being laced and tainted, they have some sort of government job where it makes them a liability in case they try to run away or something. And I'm just not at all interested in that kind of deal. I'm not interested with making some sort of deal where the more that you let me in, the more that you're gonna weigh me down, or the more that you're gonna hold me back. Because with Judaism and Islam being kind of the epicenter of my experiences and what it is that I'm going through, the way that I understand it is we're supposed to find ourselves in some sort of paradise-like society in which we are not restrained, and we are all capacitated, and we are all relatively content. And we're not just content because we have farmlands and we're farming and we have plenty of food, but because we're time-traveling geniuses that don't die unless like somebody does something to your brain. But we don't, at any event, die from natural causes like organ failure and things like that. I'm trying my best to keep up. I'm doing everything in my power to be loyal to something, and to be loyal and devout to something. I'm honestly at the mercy of the community in which I am in, and they all seem to be some sort of government agents. And like I said, it's now so bad that like I'm going to like the drug store, the pharmacy store, to buy things like antifungal cream for some sort of like sweat infection that somebody gave me. It's something that I know was happening a lot in North America when I was staying in Montana, and it was a soldier that was messing with me deliberately. But here, what he is in fact doing is he's eating into my money. I'm spending like $25 on a tube of petroleum-based sealant to patch up my pants, and I'm spending about $25 to about like $39, $40 to buy this cream for my hand, and now the cream doesn't seem to be working mysteriously. And some of the soaps and shampoos that I have in my restroom seem to be thinning my hair. So now my hair is also starting to see like I'm balding, or like I'm losing my hair or something, which I'm not at all concerned about, because I'm not here to court or to find female companions. I'm here to do a job, and I'm trying to do it. And like I said, if there's something that needs my attention, I hope that people aren't shy about it, but I know that everybody's in danger. So I'm doing my best, and I hope that that people that are deserving of security, and people that are deserving of a hand up, and understanding and sympathy and empathy and all those things. Like I hope that they have somebody to lean on. All right, bye.